Greetings of the day. Welcome you all after the tea break. Myself, Gaurav Salian from Jagdu Singh Charitable Trust, Thakur Shamnaran Degree College of Hotel Management, Assistant Professor of Food and Beverage Department. After the tea break, we are going to start with the paper presentation of faculties and students. I would like to invite Professor Ashish Nevgi. He is the course coordinator of Hotel Management Department. He also looks after the training and placement, admission, counseling, as well as he takes care of the F&B Department of Hotel Management. Without taking much of your time, may I request Ashish sir to continue with the paper presentation. Ashish sir, over to you.
Present. Greetings of the day to one and all present over here. My name is Ashish J. Nevgi, Assistant Professor at Jagdu Singh Charitable Trust, Thakur Shamnaran Degree College, Thakur Institute of Hotel Management. Today my research paper is on the topic Lychee Must Eat. Now, as we know, wine in local market is famous to be made out of grapes only. So we never thought of making a wine out of lychee. Lychee is a common fruit which is available in India. Now, wine is a fermented fruit juice. The most important fruit is which is vinifera, but any fruit can be used. Yeast occur on the skin of most of the fruits, and if the fruits are mashed, the sugar-containing juices begin to ferment. Now, when you consider grapes to make a wine, the natural yeast is already there present on the skin of the grape. Now, skin is required to give the color to the wine. So the wine gets its color from the skin of the grape. The four components that is required to make a whole grape is your skin, pulp, stalk, and pips. Without this, you can't make a wine. Introduction to the topic. Now, wine is an alcoholic drink produced from grapes the fermentation process. Fermentation means this reacts with sugar naturally present in the grapes and converts it to the ethanol, also known as alcohol. Varieties of grapes produces different styles of wine. Wine quality depends on soil, climatic conditions, drainage around the world. World wines producing countries like France, Germany, Italy, and Spain have laws governing the production of wine as they take pride in what they make and should be of high quality. Hence, they have law which is being governed by the government of the specific country. And this old world wine making countries take a lot of pride in the production of this grapes and the production of final wine. So a regular cooking purpose wine cannot be used to sell in a local market as a beverage purpose to drink. Apart from the grapes, wine can also be made from rice and with fruits such as plum, strawberry, guava, mulberry, etc. But the topic today I have taken up is to make a wine out of lychee and replace lychee instead of grapes. Now, lychee wine. Lychee fruit is grown in some parts of India. It has prosperity of taste and the superior supply of minerals and vitamins, and is used for making of alcoholic beverages in China. This fruit has been used to plan a low alcoholic, high flavor beverage. It was found that a product containing 5 to 6% alcohol, 3 to 4% sugar, and 0 to 35% acid can be prepared. So, lychee is a perfect fruit which is available in parts of India. Now, a lychee, as we know, just like a grape, when we take lychee as a fruit, it is very good to taste as a fruit as well. So, why not make a wine out of it? So, the best wine can be made out of lychee as well. But yes, to get a good market anywhere around the world, or in fact in India as well, lychee will take a lot of time to come into the market. Now, this is the tree how the lychee fruit is used to prepare the final wine. So the very first thing, as we take grapes, the lychee fruit needs to be taken. Then the second step is wash and clean with tap water. Separate the skin and seed from the fruit. Fourth step is pressing and extraction of juices. Fifth step is inculcate with wine yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is commonly used in beer or any alcoholic beverages to convert that alcohol into wine with the help of the yeast. The sixth step is fermentation. Now this fermentation takes place for almost six days. Racking and decantation. Racking of the wine and decantation to remove the unwanted sediments present in the wine made out of lychee. Then comes the clarification. The final clarification before you bottle the wine is must. because once you sell the wine, once it reaches to the consumer, it should not have any sediments or particles, foreign particles available in the bottle. The final is the bottling and cork. Now, as you all know, all the alcoholic beverages should be kept away from the sunlight. Same case is with the lychee as well. So lychee wine also needs to be kept away from the sunlight. This is a basic picture of the machinery used to make a lychee wine. The lychee wine and even the lychee juice, non-alcoholic juice, looks so tempting to drink. And lychee juice is used in many of the cocktails for making of final recipe of cocktails. The sensory variation of the lychee fruit wine. Now this is a tasting session which was being carried out. So the taste of the lychee wine, the aroma, flavor, color, the appearance, and the aftertaste. How does it taste? In the same way, the wine is being tasted by the wine experts or sommeliers before it is being sent out to the market. This is the very first brand available out of in the wine category, which is specifically made about lychee, which is Luca from India. The type of wine made up of lychee is this medium body wine, which is off dry. Alcoholic content is 12.5% alcohol by volume. The serving temperature is 10 to 12%, which is in between the white wine and the red wine temperature, which is used to serve in France. The conclusion which I have come to after the entire presentation and the research is the premium class wine should have distinctive spray and taste which depends on the maker, ripeness condition of the lychee fruit, climatic environment, and most prominently on yeast fermentation function. All these factors cause the difference of aroma, fragrance, composition, and excellence among all kinds of fruit wines. The appropriateness of lychee juice concentrate was investigated for the making of lychee wine. The great amount of fermentable sugars and acid contents there in lychee juice concentrate were found appropriate for its use in wine making. Amongst the four yeast strains screened for alcoholic fermentation of deconcentrated lychee juice. To get famous in the market, the lychee wine will actually take a lot of time because since wine made up of grapes has already acquired market from more than 200 to 300 years. It's already started from France and it has come to the new world winemaking countries like India, America, New Zealand, South Africa. So these countries are also initiated in making wine out of grapes only. So in coming years, I hope lychee will take up a market, not maybe like a regular grape wine, but obviously at least it should increase in near future because lychee growth in India is considerable. So to get a market for the farmers for their growth, lychee is used for a regular fruit purpose, but yes, if it is used for making of wine, it will be really great for the farmers and in future of agriculture in India as well. Thank you very much. I hope everyone liked the research topic which I had taken up for my presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. As you know, myself Gaurav Salian from Hotel Management would like to say thank you for giving such a wonderful presentation throughout which we got a clear and excellent knowledge regarding the topic which was presented by you, sir. Thank you so much, Ashish sir, for your presentation. Let's move to the next paper presentation, which would be presented by Professor Nandini Roy of Hotel Management Department. She is a dynamic personality, handles room division department, which includes housekeeping and front office, as well as she is the head of the cultural department. She will be going to present her paper's presentation on the topic A Soldier Fit Housekeeping Post COVID-19. Without any further ado, would like to invite Nandini ma'am to give her paper presentation on the mentioned topic. Nandini ma'am, over to you.
Greetings of the day and very, very warm welcome. Myself, Nandini Roy, BSc in Hotel Management and Tourism Management, MBA in Tourism Management, experienced 7 years in hotel and academics. I work as assistant professor as a rooms division management in Jagru Singh Charitable Trust, Thakur Shamnaran Degree College, in Thakur Institute of Hotel Management at 90 Feet Road, Thakur Complex, Kandivli East. My topic or research paper as a soldier feet housekeeping against COVID-19. A soldier feet housekeeping. Earlier, before pandemic of COVID-19, customer requirement was food, accommodation and transportation with appropriate service. Nowadays, we cannot forget that the pandemic taught us that the guests now demand hygienic and sanitation each and every service in terms of food, accommodation and traveling. After seeing all these, we feel like we have entered into a new era where the sanitation of all areas of the hotel is necessity of the guest as well as the staff of the hotel, because guests who come from outside can be a direct threat to hotel and the hotel staff for COVID-19 infection. The modified range of cleaning and the service activities are crucial to continuously improve and habituated by abiding the transport procedure. Through this daily practice, it will help to understand the housekeeping staff, what strength and the skill they had before the pandemic and what transformation is required for them now to be a soldier fit to sustain post-reopening of hospitality sector as a government guidelines by protecting themselves and the guests from deadly viral infection called COVID-19. While the government is more pivoting on rescuing people from COVID-19 infection and satiated the economy of the country, hotels are revamping to invite the guests towards the hospitality service. Introducing change and the modified procedure in the housekeeping department has become a salient to all the hospitality sectors to acquire the recognition of the guests by administering high level of hygiene standards while they are at hotel. It is but obvious that housekeeping department has a vital role in terms of safety, cleanliness, hygiene and sanitation, especially after pandemic of COVID-19. It's been always called as a support center of the other revenue generated centers, as a department does not generate any revenue directly, but support hardly to generate maximum revenue for the hotel through the coordinating department like a front office. The necessity of hygiene and sanitation is not needed in the guest room of the hotel, but it is a necessity of the hygiene and sanitation in the kitchen section, the other back areas like a marketing department who brings various types of the guests at the hotel by ensuring the standard of the hygienic service and the cleanliness. Next, move to the other slide. During the pandemic, the hotels and hospitality industry have faced lots of difficulties in restoring the trust of the guests towards the hotel and the hospitality service, in restoring the guest and attractive to the guests towards their product. It was an actually challenge for giving assurance to the guests that they are doing everything in their power to keep them safe and healthy. Therefore, hotels must prioritize cleaning and disinfection and infection prevention to give the guests and visitors peace of mind. Let's move to the other slide. In addition to considering their guests, hotels must take unnecessary steps to reassure and retain employees during work in a hotel. Purchase of high quality uniform for the staff so uniform durability will remain long even after frequent wash. Uniforms of the staff to be washed every after shift end with the exact SOP of laundering of uniform, mask and hand gloves to be given while cleaning of the guest room and washrooms of the guest rooms and the public areas. Sanitizer to be placed at most of the areas of the hotel where we find heavy footfall of the guests and staff. Conversation with the staff or guests to be done with maintaining at least 2.5 distance from one to the other. Personal belongings not to be touched or shared with others like mask, handkerchief, uniform, etc. Avoid touching the nose, eyes, and ears while doing any cleaning task pertaining to the guest. Ensure hands, elbows, and face to be washed with the soap after finishing all cleaning tasks. Gift should not be accepted by the guests for the time being. Direct contact like handshake, hugging, sitting close, as well as touching to be avoided during the shift. Immediately inform your supervisor if staff feel like cold, fever, or coughing. Staff should be sent on a leave and ask for the proper checkup if not feel good for more than 3 days. Staff should also maintain their personal hygiene after ending of shift and reaching at home. Before and after work, bath should be taken. Before and after work, employees should bath every and before every shift. Eat healthy on time, vitamins, proteins, vegetables, etc. Exercise every day. Wear masks during travel, work, and while meeting someone offline. Washing clothes every day which are used for traveling keeps you away from the infection which is everywhere now in the world. Drink hot water. Take steam for 10 minutes frequently 3 to 4 times in a day if you are suffering from a cold or a normal cough. Consult physician if facing various issues related to your health. Get treated yourself and inform to your department head for the same. Housekeeping department of various sector are geared up now to play a vital role in terms of cleanliness, health, hygiene, safety, and sanitation of the front and the heart of the house. The need of the hour is to transform the hygiene and sanitation department as per the COVID guidelines by uplifting our present SOP to rebuild the trust and the confidence in the traveler and let them know the measures implemented to keep themselves safe and healthy. It emphasizes the post-COVID. The emphasis the post-COVID era will be on a rigorous training and preparedness of the staff to implement the safety and health guidelines of maintaining social distance and enhance cleanliness. That includes allow resting period post checkout to clean and disinfect the room. Assign one staff per room to clean. Turn down service must be only on a guest request. All touch points like doorknobs, switches, safety latches, and the tap should be cleaned frequently. Linen should be replaced as per the guest request. For the long stay guests, housekeeping staff should wear PPE kit while handling linen and laundry operation and performing cleaning activities at guest room and public areas. Deep clean the front of area on timely basis. Staff movement around the rooms should be restricted if not required. Linen is required to change after every guest checks out. Use disinfectant to clean the room and public area bathroom. Social distance to be followed before and on and after duty. Self-hygiene and health to be taken care of. Sickness to be reported to the senior immediately. Let's move to the other slide. We have reached over here to the conclusion. The following changes adopted by the hotel industry post-COVID era pandemic are touch points changing and cleaning. Touch points in a hotels like a tab door, handles design are changed in order to not to touch it directly, where you can use your elbow to open up or close it. That is, use push and pull sign on the door where you don't have to touch the handle. Touch points also need to clean frequently by the housekeeping staff during the shift. The main thing to follow by hotel staff, that sanitize your hand and then touch handle of the door to open or close it. Guest amenities and supplies in the guest room. The guest room amenities like tea set, hair dry machine, iron and iron board, etc. to be removed from the guest room and placed to the guest room if not request for the same, and immediately to be removed from the guest room when the guest takes checkout. This is very important to clean or sanitize the amenities to stay away from any sort of infection. Guest room supplies to be thrown out once the guests check out from the room. Recycled supplies to be avoided to place it in a guest room. Minibar and the edible items to be charged and handed over to guests if the guest removes it from the minibar and open the same. Next, we have the guest room setup. Extra sofa set and the chairs to be removed from the guest room to avoid the crowd in the guest room. Extra number of packs not to be allowed in a single or double guest room to follow the social distancing. Mask, sanitizer, disposable bottle to be placed in the guest room so the guests can carry out while traveling and coming back to hotel. So the cleanliness will be set as a rule to keep away any type of infection and stay healthy. Safety precautionary measures to be taken during the work. Let's understand the safety precautionary. Wearing a hand glove, mask, shower cap, and a housekeeping apron during the cleaning work at public area as well as the guest room are mandatory. If the cleaning work is held in the presence of the guest, it is important to avoid continuous conversation with the guest or can ask the guest to take the seat in the balcony until the side guest room's cleaning is get it done. Then the move to the guest inside the guest room and start cleaning work of balcony. Inform your supervisor if it's observed by the GRA that is the guest is not keeping well, is coughing, continuously seizing or suffering from high fever. Supervisor should immediately call a doctor and coordinate to the front office department for the same. Rooms are not only clean but also to be sanitized after cleaning and free air, like windows and doors to be kept open for some time after cleaning and sanitation. After the guest checks out, as we have mentioned earlier, the modified range of cleaning service activities are crucial to continuously improve and habituate by abiding and the transport procedure. Through these days, daily practices, it will help to understand the housekeeping staff what strength and skill they had before the pandemic and what transformation is required for them now to be a soldier fit to sustain post reopening of all the hospitality sector as per the government guidelines by protecting themselves and the guests from this deadly viral infection called COVID-19. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. This is Nandini Roy, who has done the research papers on the topic of soldier fit housekeeping in the COVID-19. Thank you so much, Nandini Roy, Assistant Professors of Rooms Division Management of Jagru Singh Charitable Trust, Thakur Sham Narayan Degree College of Thakur Institute of Hotel Management. Thank you so much. Stay healthy, stay safety. Have a nice day.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bilal Madre from Jagdu Singh Charitable Trust, Thakur Sham Narayan Degree College. I am the Assistant Professor, Room Division from the Hotel Management Department. Thank you, Nandini ma'am, for your tremendous knowledge on the topic which was presented by you. Now we have Mr. Mir Kanswar, student of S5 BSc Hospitality Studies, is going to present the research topic on Cloud Kitchen in Mumbai. Over to you, Mir.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Mihir Kanswal, and my topic is to study the awareness of Cloud Kitchen among the people of Mumbai. Introduction to Cloud Kitchen. A Cloud Kitchen is a restaurant that focuses exclusively on takeaways only. The orders are only received online and the food is then sent to the customer in the form of takeaway. This type of commissary kitchens are also known as ghost kitchens, share kitchens, or virtual kitchens. Meaning, cloud kitchen, also known as ghost kitchens, refers to a place where food is prepared and delivered at the doorstep by taking orders via calls and online ordering platform. In other terms, these restaurants do not offer a dining facility. In these outlets, only the production of food happens. Then the orders are only received online, and the food is then sent to the customer in the form of takeaway. In every topic there are advantages and disadvantages. So one of the biggest advantage of cloud kitchen is property and location. One of the biggest advantage of cloud kitchen is its flexibility in terms of property cost and location. For physical restaurants, rent accounts for a high percentage and overall budget. Second is cost control. The cloud kitchen is only operated by kitchen staff and delivery person only. No host or server is required, and you can significantly reduce labor cost. The third, my personal favorite, is flexible menu. For example, if you are running out of an ingredient or an important ingredient, or find that the profit of an item is not high enough, you can easily replace the online menu item with another option. Here we comes to disadvantages. It totally depends upon food aggregators like Zomato, Swiggy, Food Panda, and etc. Second point is trust deficit. Cloud kitchen face disadvantages because there is no dine-in facility. Customers have no unforgettable experience to talk about in future or past, which seriously limit the most reliable marketing channel for local companies for word of mouth. And the last is no feedback loop. Unless you are actively involved in checking the reviews on the online aggregator platform, there is no other way to see what your customer have to say about your food. The next is the two major software, which is KDS and POS. First, we come to POS. POS stands for point of sale. So basically, if a guest orders by suppose he orders from Swiggy, so basically POS does the work of submerging all the aggregators in one screen. Suppose one guest order from Swiggy and the other guest at the same time orders from Zomato. So the POS has a major role of submerging all the orders in one screen. And the KDS, which is kitchen display system, it is interrelated with the POS software. And the kitchen display system basically shows the order which has to be prepared in the particular time. So this is KDS and POS system in cloud kitchen. List of license required to open a cloud kitchen in India. FSI, Food Safety and Standards Authority license is mandatory. Health or trade license is mandatory. Fire and Safety license, Shop and Establishment Act, and other license. Rebel Food as an example in India. Rebel Food is an Indian online restaurant company which operates 11 cloud kitchen brands, including Faisal's Behrooz Biryani and Oven Story. It is the largest cloud kitchen restaurant chain in India, operating more than 320 cloud kitchens in India and over 500 in overseas markets as July 2021. Survey and findings. From the survey which I have conducted, I have found that most of the people don't know that what is cloud kitchen, but yes, they do use cloud kitchens through the aggregators like Swiggy, Zomato, Food Panda, and etc. And most of the people show their interest in ordering food online rather than fine dine. Conclusion: with the current scenario of many establishment and semi-establishment restaurants, cafes shutting down, cloud kitchen model has found a great boost. With real estate being a high cost in big cities, the concept of cloud kitchen has got many takers. The cost of setting up a cloud kitchen is much lesser than a full-fledged restaurant. The overhead are low, risk factor is less, making this a lucrative model to invest in.
Thank you, Mir, for your presentation as we got good information regarding the cloud kitchen in Mumbai. Now we have Ayushi Verma, student of SYBSC Hospitality Studies. She is going to present her topic on welcoming etiquettes. Over to you, Ayushi.
Myself Ayushi Verma, SYBSC Hospitality Studies from Thapar Institute of Hotel Management under Thapar Shyam Narayan Degree College. Here is my presentation, Ignite 2021. Cultural tourism plays an important role in hospitality industry. Cultural tourism is also called as cultural heritage. This review article traces the development of cultural tourism as a field of research. Over the past decade, identifying major trends and research areas. The traditions of Rajasthan has Hindu, Muslim, and Jains. Jains are a minority, but the Rajasthani traditions have been taken by the ancient Indian way of life. There are different groups of in Rajasthan like Jats, who are mainly Hindus and Sikhs, and Miran, who worship Lord Shiva, Krishna, and Durga Devi. Introduction of cultural tourism in India. Cultural tourism in India includes various architectural and festivals or historic or monument places, museums and exhibitions, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, religious venues, temples and churches, and as well as deserts. It also includes tourism in central areas, particularly historic or large cities and their cultural facilities such as auditoriums. And there are some famous places in Rajasthan, which is Jaipur. It is also known as the Pink City. Jaisalmer is also known as the Golden City. Udaipur is also known as the Lake City. Jodhpur, the Dev City. Ajmer, the City of Gods. And the Mount Abu, Rajasthan's only hill station. Here is cultural tourism in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is famous for origin, tradition, clothes, craft and architecture, fairs and festivals. Here are some pictures of the clothes, architecture, crafts, and these are the dance. There are positive and negative impacts of cultural tourism in India. Positive impact is improving healthcare, access, positive emotions, novelty, and social interaction. Rebirth of history, customs, festivities. And this is negative impact, risk of disease transmission, road accidents, higher crime levels, as well as traffic congestion, crowding. And changes in the use of local language during the contact of tourists. This is literature review. We can say that cultural tourism is a very complicated tourism industry segment. Its supply is varied and versatile. Tourism can help to remove poverty by creating new job opportunities and curb youth migration and other marginally working communities members. Objectives. The major objectives of the study are to make a geographical investigation of tourism in the Rajasthan. Following are the specific objectives of the study. To examine the factors which are responsible for the development of tourism in the study region. To assess the transportation and accommodation facilities in the study region. To assess the socio-cultural impact of tourism upon our few tourist places. To identify new locations having tourist potential and to suggest a strategy for the development of concerned tourist places. To explore the major problems of tourist places in the study region. To suggest the remedial measures for the development of tourism in India. In the study region. As we conclude, the majority respondents are of the opinion that tourism development is helpful to increase their standard of living and total income and as well as popularity. Tourism has a provided market for the local products and it is helpful for earning foreign exchange of the cultural tourism destination. The majority respondents are of the opinion that tourism is helpful to generate more employment opportunities in the cultural tourism destination. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ayushi, for your wonderful presentation. Now we have Anjum Badiga, student of S5BSc Hospitality Studies. She is going to present her topic on event planning. Over to you, Anjum.
Myself Anjum Badigir from S5BSc Hospitality Studies from Thakur Institute of Hotel Management under Thakur Shamnaran Degree College. Introduction. The first ever event of Thakur Institute of Hotel Management was held on 27 January 2021. The Ignite 2.0 was held on 29 October 2021. The word Ignite represented the flame of patriotism ignited in the heart of each and everyone's heart. There was a lot of responsibilities on the mind of students were giving their best to make this event a memorable one. This was very first event and many more to come and I believe that the flame ignited during the event shall last for eternity. Introduction. The word ignite means the flame. So it did brought the flame to our heart and tried making this event a memorable one by welcoming our chief guest. The chief guest was Mr. Harpal Singh Sokhi. He is also known as Namak Shamak Chef. He gave a wonderful speech and shared his experience and motivated us. Then we prepared a welcome dance which was presented by our SY students, was taught by our cultural head Miss Nandani Roy ma'am from Room Discussion Management. This was held few songs and dance. Besides Besides this, there was also four departments: food and beverage department, housekeeping department, and kitchen, in which students got the opportunity to choose their interested department. The food and beverage team did serve the cocktail, refreshment, mocktails, which was held by them. Housekeeping department did the whole decoration and gave their 100%. Even I was in housekeeping department, and we tried our best and made sure that the place looked elegant and beautiful. Front office department, they went to invite the guests few days before the event. Then one event day, they escorted the guests very nicely and made sure they were comfortable. Kitchen department made sure for each and every one, and they gave the facility of veg and non-veg both. Location. How location plays a key role in fast food industry. It's all about location when starting a restaurant. Location acts as an anchor point to you, your idea, which helps us in sustaining in their competitive food market. Location usually plays a significant role in creating brand preference and brand equity. One should put location at the top before thinking of another factors. Location usually people focus more on their menu and ambience which coming up with their own venture, but they shouldn't forget the location should be the most important thing when it's about entering into the food business. Location does play important role in fast food industry. What is fast food? Fast food are designed for ready availability, used for consumption, and sold at eating establishments for quick availability or takeout. To get a better understanding of it, KFC, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut are good examples. Fast food is also known as junk food. These days, fast food are as easily available near house, near work, near college, near railway, wherever we go. Yes, sometimes it very affects our body, but people do prefer fast food at least once a month. As I am a Mumbaiker, street side foods or business or food is very important to us. Location. Role of location. Fast food is about convenience, so to be successful, a fast food outlet should be located in a high traffic area. Fast food isn't typically considered a destination. Customer won't travel into the countryside for a bag of fries in the same way that they would for a special restaurant experience. High traffic area. Through commanding a proportionally high rents also ensure a steady stream of food or car traffic or both passing by your restaurant. By location outlets, by locating outlets in shopping malls and on busy commercial streets, fast food companies gain business and impulses purchase from customers who had no pre-planning of the customer. Uh, and As in this picture, there are in the first picture, the food and beverage department are serving, and in second picture, whole Ignite management team is there, and in third picture, from housekeeping department, one of the member is decorating, and this is our coordinate Ashish sir, and in this picture, these are the cultural team members. Reasons why the location matters. There are some bullet points. Parking location acts as an anchor point, having a good hygiene impact on the food, plays a huge role in attracting the big employees, accessibility, appearance, amenities, neighborhood. Again, parking is very important because when the customer sees the location has parking, it attracts them. They don't have to worry about their vehicle towing or something else. Location acts as an anchor point. It's all about the location. When starting a restaurant, location acts as an anchor point to your idea, which helps you in sustaining in the competitive food market. Hygiene. Obviously, hygiene is very important everywhere. If the place is hygienic, attracts the customer very quickly, and even they will recommend to the other. Yeah, food quality does matters, but hygiene is equally very important. Neighborhood. Okay, when we talk about neighborhood, again the same thing, location involved. Let's take an example of Thakur village. McDonald's, they have parking their place in hygiene, food quality is very good. But also in a neighborhood, they have Starbucks, Subway, Pizza Hut. Besides that, they have a movie theater. They have great gardens. So it gives us a very good impression. Conclusion. At the end, due to this event, each and every student has together as a team and with the support of our manager of the event. It was an absolute success and congratulations to each department, culture group, heads of all departments for making this event memorable. Yes, here each of head of departments, head of HK, head of food and beverage, head of front office, head of kitchen, head of culture, as well as our faculties give their everything to make this a memorable one. And it is surely and it was a great experience. Thank you, and I'm Anjum Badige from SRBSC Hospitality Studies.
Thank you, Anjum, for your wonderful presentation. I would like to thank and congratulate each and every student of SYBSC Hospitality Studies for giving such a tremendous presentation with the skills and efficiency, as is a turning point of your career when you are undergraduate students. Now we end the technical round 1 and soon we'll begin with technical round 2 for the paper presentation. We'll get back to you. Thank you. I would like to hand over the technical round 2 to Ashish Buse, sir.